Here we go. You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob. Yay! Yeah!
This is the anthem, you ready for some random shit from Rob? Now everybody stand up and lift your arms, put your hands in the sky like you're pinching stars, go piss on Mars! What? It's so random, it's all gravy. The podcast is Rob shit, go crazy. Yup.
And all kind of shit like that.
That's what Rob says when he runs off track. Fun fact, tuck that in your brain. Fuck that, nutsacks, we act insane. In the fast lane, still smooth like butter. Rob, dude, you one cool ass brother.
Motherfucker.
You might hear that about every other word, but who's keeping count? The ramblings get so random, what's happening? I'm babbling so much you can't handle me. Chattering teeth, sound like a battle axe bashing the beat. Don't laugh when I speak, cause really, we're just some idiots. I ain't talking about a little bit, I'm talking fully illiterate. Like little kids trapped in a grown man's body, acting a fool like Lindsay Lohan party. Like it's a party of life, we party all night. Blackout, that's how we party it right. Hit the Walmart cause we bored as shit. Instagram and upload the vid. look at Rob hanging out in the Walmart for no reason, just Instagramming. He got his phone out, walking around looking at himself like, hey, look at me, I'm walking through Walmart. It's so random, Rob. It's so random, but that's what we love. Random ramblings with Rob. Random ramblings.
Motherfucking,
Random
freaking
ramblings.
motherfucking,
Random
freaking motherfucking.
ramblings. Random ramblings. Random ramblings. Blah blah blabbities. Blah blah blabbities. Blah blah blah.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblings with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I'd like to thank you oh so much for giving my show a try. And if anybody recommended you to me, as always, lean over and give that person a crisp high five. Can you do it on your side? Because, like, all right, so you know you got to point the opposite way. Oh, it looked good on camera.
It's there, we there. Let's do a pound.
But I know, they got Omicron, Perseus Prime as COVID floating around still somewhere. And, people might be cautious about touching hands with people and everything. But what you can do is pick up your favorite social media app of choice and tell that person in a well-crafted DM, thank you for recommending you to me. Speaking of social media, you can find the Random Ramblers with Rob on various social media platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Instagram at The 3R Show, which that might be coming to a head here pretty soon because I got my trademark in for 3R Show and it's mine. And I'm going to be, hey, Instagram, run that shit. I want my damn, my hashtag. I want my at 3R Show proper like. But I digress. There's some other places that you can find the show. If you happen to be viewing this, you might be on the YouTube. Just search for 3R Show. And there's many other ways to find me, but I'm blanking on it right now. So you can go to randomrob.com, randomrob.com, to where you can find many different ways to help support the show. And you will most importantly find our sponsor, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. I think I'm going to trade hats midstream right now. Boom, put my sponsor hat on. Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. Go ahead to hooksrub.com and you can go ahead and get 15% off your order by using promo code RANDOM. Now I got the sponsor stuff out the way, put my hat back on. Boom. Hold that for me, Playboy. Sweet. Yeah, just hold that in the back. But now, joining me, I know this person through another person, Lou from the BX, host of the Everything podcast and everything. He's been a guest on her show multiple times. And every time that I've tuned in, I felt like they have great chemistry. I don't know why she don't bring Lou on full time, but I know Lou is trying to be a scientist or some shit like that. So, but joining me with the ever so effervescent smile and the big cheekbones and everything, Maddy from Top Rope Squishy. How are you, ma'am?
Hello, Rob. Thank you for having me on. I'm good. I'm a little tired, we work, but I'm happy to be on. Lou is great. He says anytime that I need somebody to come on, but I always like him on. So, and I would love for you to come on my show too. So we got to talk offline for that. Word.
I'm down. I'm always down to go places and do things and stuff.
Yes. Thank you.
But how long have you been doing this or whatever? Because I just stumbled upon you a couple of times that Lou's been on and everything, but it looked like you have some presence in the YouTube space or whatever. Please tell me about your humble beginnings.
Still in my humble beginnings, but I started about, I want to say July of 2020. Okay. It was kind of like when the pandemic was.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah.
Yes. And, I watched wrestling and my husband was like, well, you like to talk a lot, so why don't you just do a YouTube channel? And I'm like, that's sweet. So I just started with recaps, not live shows or anything like that, just by myself. And eventually I was like, I like to bring people on and just do like podcast collaborations. And that's what I've been doing for a little over a year now. And it's been a lot of fun. It's fun to collaborate with other podcasters and talk with them and stuff. But yeah.
So what is your preparation process for whenever you put your shows together and everything? Because you do recaps and everything and whatnot. I mean, do you take copious amounts of notes and everything, or you just kind of like play it from memory?
So I do take notes. I have like 20 books. So I do take notes because I like to have it organized. You know what I'm saying? And, some of my guests, they smoke on my show and stuff, and I'm cool with that. But if I smoke on my show and I don't have my stuff organized, it's going to be all over the place. So that's what I usually do. I watch the show. Like I watch Dynamite the night before, take my notes, and then, I drop some quick, fast questions on people. I do something where I make people pick between two different things, 10 questions, really fast, really random questions. And random. I just, exactly. I just kind of like to let it flow. We have like a set thing where we're going to talk about this, but some people, I'm like, if you want to talk about another wrestling promotion and you want to bring up another wrestler or indies or whatever, feel free, as long as you're not like bashing anyone on my show. That's the only thing I don't, because there's enough of that going on.
Of course. So it's safe to say AEW is your jam currently, right?
It is my jam, although I grew up on WWE and WCW. I spent like 10 years without watching anything. Ooh. And then, I got bored because I don't know, The Rock wasn't like, that was my favorite wrestler at the time. And he wasn't really doing much. He was more into movies, and people that I grew up watching were no longer really, in the main storylines. It got boring. And so I stopped, and I never thought I would get back into it until AEW. So, it just brought me back, and I've been hooked again ever since, which is great. It's been a great experience.
So my question for you, I mean, I know we kind of in the same time bracket because that's my era of watching professional wrestling consistently as well. WCW, Monday Night Wars, and all this other shenanigans.
Right.
But you speak about, The Rock going away and some of your other favorite wrestlers going away. So the product wasn't the same to you.
It wasn't.
On that note, now that they constantly bringing these old motherfuckers back, are you invested or engaged in the product now?
Yes, so invested and engaged, because even though it's the same motherfuckers, they're like on different storylines and different things. And I have to say, with the latest edition of the older guys, which was Jeff Hardy, I marked out because I was a Hardy Boys fan growing up. Their table, ladders, and chairs matches were crazy. And I always respected them for always putting their lives on the line to entertain people. And now to have them here, in this product that I'm watching, I never thought that would happen. So I do enjoy them. Like when Sting came back, I was like, oh shit, they're doing different things. It's not the same. So it's, yes, I'm very invested.
I can get that. And to the Sting aspect or whatever, I mean, realistically, he never really stopped wrestling. So I kind of give him a pass. Yeah, but when I say all these old motherfuckers coming back, I'm referencing to WWE, because they bring back Brock, they bring back Edge. I mean, I know Edge is under different circumstances, so I give him leeway. They had the Undertaker coming back at certain points in time.
Oh, and no.
Not digging it?
No, nothing. I won't. I mean, and it's not because I have anything against the product at all. There's just so much going on with AEW and with the indies that I'm more invested in, that I just legitimately don't have the time. Do I want to sit down and catch a show? I really do. Like, I really do want to actually give WWE a chance again, because it was part of my childhood and my
everybody's pretty much
my adulthood, like up until my mid to late 20s, I was legitimately into WWE. And it just fell off. It wasn't like instantaneously, like one day I was like, I'm not watching this shit no more. It was more like
the flip the desk.
I've had it. No, it was more like a gradual thing. Like I would forget that it was on because I wasn't that invested in it. I'll just catch half the show, or I'll just start watching it and then I'll go do something else. And eventually I was just like, but I'm not like that with AEW. With AEW, I'm like on point, like 7:55. Where's my chair? Where's my smoke? Where's my water? Oh yeah, I love this product. I love the women wrestlers these days. That was, I think, the best thing about me taking that break. That when I left, women matches were more like popcorn matches, except for like a Chyna or a Lita, who would really give you something to look at. When I came back, women wrestling had completely changed, and in a good way. And so I'm happy that I came back when I did. And I missed a lot in those 10 years, like CM Punk's reign and all that stuff. I missed all of that, but I'm okay with that.
But now you get to see him return and start anew.
I know. He's like a new wrestler to me, even though to everyone else, he's like legendary. And I'm like, CM Punk, who's that? Like when people were screaming and shouting, like, who the hell is CM Punk? Google, because I didn't know.
So you are much in the vein of when I took my young child to see the new Spider-Man movie. And when they revealed the previous Spider-Mans when they came in, spoilers, I've done spoiled the show, the movie anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, I just saw it yesterday.
Oh, sweet. So you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying.
So when they revealed the previous Spider-Mans and everything, the people in the theater with us was like,
that was me. I was like, Tobey Maguire, oh shit, the original. Yeah, that was me.
My kid was like, why are they making all this noise for this old guy? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I have failed you.
You have to let him watch the originals now. Don't let him watch number 3, though, with Toby.
No, me and her watched all of them. We watched all of them. We went 1, 2, 3. Then we went 1, 2. And then we almost went, it would have been a third time for her to go see it at the new one again. But But we watched the old 3. We watched the next 2. And then we watched, Far From Home, No Way Home. And, Homecoming. Homecoming. And then No Way Home. We watched that. Yeah. And then now Far From Home or whatever the fuck. One of them. This one is
No Way. The latest one was No Way Home.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We watched all the homie movies. There you go.
It was a lot of drama though. But
do you feel you mentioned a lot of the indie stuff involved with AEW and whatnot. I mean, do you have a favorite indie promotion, or is just kind of you learn of the people as they show up on AEW?
I'm very biased. I'll tell you right now. I love Mission Pro Wrestling.
That's Thunder Rosa's joint.
Because Thunder Rosa is my number one. I am a stan. I mark out for that woman. I've met her in person. I've been to a Mission Pro show. I've supported her Mission Pro, company, and I follow her very closely. I think that she's phenomenal, not just as a wrestler, but just what she does for other women, not just women wrestlers, just women refs, women commentators. She just, I don't know if you got to see her match with Britt Baker where she got the championship on Wednesday, but
I watched it.
She had a whole mariachi. Mariachis are usually
I've seen
men.
that.
Yeah, it was all women. Like she's a representative for women. Like she's true warrior for women. Is she perfect? Of course not. Ain't nobody perfect. But she can't do no wrong in my eyes. Like that's so like you can come and tell me Thunder killed the cat, and I'll be like,
that cat had it coming.
Yeah. What did the cat do? So that's me. But yeah, Mission Pro Wrestling. I like watching GCW. I caught Terminus. So I'm not like, I don't catch the shows consistently. The Mission Pro shows, yes, but I don't catch the other shows consistently, but I try. I really do. There's so much good stuff. Such a good time to be a wrestling fan because the choices out there. There's something for everyone. It really is.
And whenever you're not enjoying all the things that are professional wrestling, I mean, what are some of the other things that you wind up finding yourself getting into?
I love playing video games. My husband and I, we play shooters. Right now, we just finished Far Cry 6 and we're jumped into Dying Light 2. So we're in that. That's where we're at right now, Dying Light 2. I'm originally a lover of RPGs, although I like the old school RPGs. I don't know, a lot of people don't know some of the games I used to play. I used to play on PlayStation 2 was like the biggest RPG console that existed to me, with the best RPG games. And I got into this game called Legend of Legaia.
Oh, I remember that.
Do you? Okay. Because when I mentioned that to people, they're like, what is that? They had a part 1 and a very unknown part 2. Part 1 came out for the PlayStation 1, part 2 came out for the PS2, and it was freaking amazing. Like, so those are like the original type of RPG feels. You got the towns.
And I only remember that game because I always used to mispronounce the title anyway. So I was like Lasagna or something like that.
Oh yeah, right. It was hard for me too back then, but I talk about it so much. But Halo, I like Halo. I'm a huge fan of Left 4 Dead, and I was hoping they'd make a part 3. They did kind of make something. The makers of Left 4 Dead came out and made a zombie game. I think it came out last year, but it wasn't as good as the Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. But yeah, I play video games. I'm a huge movie watcher. So and I love music. So those are a lot of the things. I used to be huge on reading books, but I find hardly any time to read anymore. But my genre for books was always like horror or like science fiction, action type of stuff. I don't watch drama. Leave the drama for your mama. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I really necessarily don't like reading, but as of late, I've been coming back around on some things. What I've been doing is reading books that spawn movies and everything. So I just recently went back and read Fight Club.
Okay.
I'm about to start on I Am Legend here pretty soon because that spawned a movie.
Is that the movie with Will Smith, Legend?
Yes.
Okay, so I read the book many years prior to the movie being made. So that was actually really special for me to actually get to see. And I like Will Smith, so that worked.
And then there was some, and then everything else. It's just like I think it's not so much to speak of ill of other writers and everything like that, but I kind of like the teen adventure books or whatever. So I'm sitting here reading like Percy Jackson.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
Nothing wrong with that. It's great.
That's my speed. And then like me and the kid are going back and forth and trading books. I just started a Death Note not too long ago.
Oh my God. Have you seen the anime? I love anime. Anime.
Well, that's why I'm holding off, because I want to read all the books first. And I bought the anime. I have the complete series on Blu-ray, and I'm not going to watch it until I finish all the books.
When you finish the books, let me know, because I have not read the books. I would love to read the books. I've seen the anime a total of 3 times. That's how good it is. So you're going to love it.
Because what brought me to Death Note is the Netflix movie.
The live action one with the people?
Yeah, that's how I found out about it. I was like, and then people like, oh, this is bullshit. You know how people get. You know how people get.
I mean, the live action movie wasn't that great, but
I was just like, it's not bad, because I don't have no attachment to the source material. So I was like, oh, this is all right. Movie.
Right, but when you see
interesting concept.
Very, very. I mean, one of my favorite animes for sure. But if you need any more like anime advice on what to watch, let me know.
So as far as watching, I just kind of, making myself read things. And then my wife was like, ooh, you got a book, because she loves to read, avid reader and everything. And she's like, ooh, you got a book. What you reading? And she's like, is that a comic? Oh, God. I was like, okay. You dismissing me like that, huh?
She was like, nope, not interested.
But like with the kid and everything, my daughter, she likes to draw. So graphic novels and manga and all that stuff or whatever, I think kind of aids the creativity process.
Inspires
and whatnot. So I recommend that. But she also likes to read, actual books with words, as my wife says.
And not just pictures.
Yeah. So anytime that, and that's kind of rare for kids this generation now. Like I have an 11-year-old that actually likes to read books. So anytime she talk about let's go to Barnes and Noble, I'm like, let's go.
Yes.
I throw all this hanky panky that I'm doing with this carpentry shit, and I just throw it against the wall. Start over later.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just like, I said, it wasn't good anyway. I'll just fuck it.
And it's for a good cause.
Yeah. And then like I find myself, I start these projects and everything, like this room that I'm sitting here. I built this. But it's like I look at the prices of the stuff that's already pre-assembled or that I could pay and I could put together myself with the instructions. I'm like, I spent more on my project than I could have just bought this shit.
Yeah, sometimes not worth starting from scratch or building from scratch.
Yeah,
especially
but the
days.
thing about building it from scratch is you can make it exactly how you want it to be. Because you have to just kind of fall into the guidelines if you buy something pre-built or something like that. It's all right, it's not exactly what I want, but it'll do. But you build it yourself or whatever. It's like, yeah, I can put a thing in here and I press the button and it pop up and slap me in the face or whatever. I made it do that.
That was on purpose.
Yeah. Put a theft system on there for my wife. So when she come there and mess with my shit, it's smack on the ass. Like, get out of here.
Get out of here. I know what you're doing.
Touching my shit.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I could build really good things with instructions, but creating something from scratch, unless it's a meal, unless it's food.
I'm kind of iffy on that as well. I got my bag of tricks. I got my go-tos or whatever. I got my spaghetti and my meatloaf and everything. I could just bye.
You ain't gonna die. You know what I mean? As long as you can make a few meals, a meal or two.
Shit. According to my wife, I would have been dead if I didn't meet her or whatever. When we were dating, she came to my house and she went in the refrigerator for whatever reason. I think I told her to get us a drink or something. And it was like microwave meals, a whole bunch of cans of vegetables, the shit, pizzas.
In the fridge?
Yep. Well, not the cans of vegetables, but this is just around the house. But, yep. I was a simple man. I just ate the food for nourishment. I didn't care what it was. I just I know I had to put stuff in my body so I can get the nutrients and live. So that's all I did.
You sound like my husband. He just eats to live. That's like.
So you sound like you have some culinary skill and whatnot. So
yes.
With you and your husband, you just said kind of his meal style and whatnot.
Yes.
Is there the age-old debate that goes between couples and everything? What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't care. What do you want to eat? Is this going on in your household often?
It goes on almost every day, except it's kind of like my husband will eat anything, not picky at all. See, and that is like the sweetest thing, because there are days where I don't feel like cooking and I'm the one that cooks because I cook. Like that's not his thing, and I'm okay with that. He does the dishes. I don't like dishes.
Ooh,
so,
I hate it.
I'm like, if I'm going to cook, I'm not doing dishes. So there are days though where I'm like, I call it a Maddy special. And that's basically a sandwich and some fries. Cause I'm just like, listen, but there are days where I'll cook a full-blown meal, a full-blown meal. And especially like during Thanksgiving, it's only 2 of us. And I throw down like there's going to be 10 people in this house. I even make sweet potato pie from scratch. So, mac and cheese, cornbread, honey cornbread, rice, oven roasted chicken. I make a chicken because what the hell do we need a turkey for? There's only 2 of us.
Same way.
But I make a whole entire meal. But yeah, my culinary skills are pretty good. I've been cooking since I was like, I want to say like 9, 10 years old. Mm-hmm. So that's a long time cooking. And but there are days where it's like, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? I'm like, look, I'll eat a pizza. Like that's it. That's it. That's my favorite thing. Pizza.
I think there's a thing with me and pizza. We have this relationship to where like if a commercial come on, I'm like, damn, I gotta have some pizza.
I want one.
But it's like I go by rule of 3 though. I go by rule of 3. If I see a commercial with some pizza on there, I'm like, all right, that's not enough to prompt me to get the pizza. But if somebody bring up pizza in conversation, that's 2. But then, damn, if I see something else pertaining to pizza, if I see it 3 times in the day, I gotta have pizza.
That's it.
It's an omen. It's
a sign.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your favorite meal? Is that your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, that's my go-to. I mean,
that's my favorite too.
Anything, I just give me the pizza. So what,
you can eat it cold too. So
true. So with that being said, we're on the topic of pizza now. So do you believe? Because I mean, this is just my belief. I don't believe there is bad pizza.
I do.
So do tell. I mean, what classifies it as bad pizza to you? Because I mean, pizza is just like yum to me in all aspects. I know there's some that are better than others, and yes. I get that. But pizza is pizza.
I became real Hasadiddy with my pizza. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I used to.
Everything.
Yeah, I used to be. Put the pinky up. No, not like that. I just mean like I used to eat like Domino's and Pizza Hut and the chain pizzas, and then I started eating it from like an actual Italian restaurant with actual Italian people working in there making the pizzas. And it was a completely different experience. The taste, the fact that I wouldn't get heartburn afterwards, a lot of things. So I was like, no more Domino's, no more Papa John's, no more. So I don't eat the fast food, those I only order from like actual pizzeria,
mom and pops or whatever.
Yes, mom and pop shops. So that is what I mean by I've become Hasadiddy with it. And I have tasted some mom and pop shop pizza where they like don't know where the sauce is, or I'm like, well, where the fuck's the sauce? It's like a smear, and I'm like, ew, I need my sauce in my pizza. Like, I don't like pizza crust that's like this paper thin either. That doesn't mean it has to be Sicilian thick, but if I go like this and my pizza goes down and falls, then we have a problem. So
you need some of that blue chew in this pizza, baby. You got to stay up, got to stay rock. But
exactly.
So in a pinch, if you had to go with a franchise chain pizza with a Domino. Oh, okay. All right. So you didn't even let me finish the question. You got it.
Domino's. I like their sauce. It's a little sweet. Like, and I'm Dominican, so if anybody's ever been to Dominican Republic and you have a pizza from DR, their sauce is sweet, and it's not like sugar sweet. It's just a sweet sauce, and for me, it's just brings me back to my roots. So, yeah, Domino's.
Yeah, I'm a Pizza Hut guy.
Pizza Hut's good too.
I'm not opposed to the 3, which Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's.
Yeah.
But sometimes I lean toward Papa John's a little bit. Not so recently though, since he said all that wild shit and everything. But now Shaq and shit over there.
Yes, I was about to say Shaq made a difference there. So
yeah. So I haven't bought Papa John's in years, and then like after they got Shaq on the board of directors, and then they got another black guy in that I think that's the head or something now. So I was just like, all right, I guess it's cool. I buy one.
Yeah. Excuse to get me some Papa John's pizza.
Nah, I mean, if somebody brought it to the crib or whatever, I'm eating that shit.
Yeah,
but I mean, as far as me giving over monetarily, no, we didn't do that.
No, we ain't supporting. No support.
But see, I live here in Houston, or whatever, which I call Planet Houston because I have a brother. I live in the north. My brother lives in the south, and on any given day, it can take me an hour just to drive to his house, and we live in the same fucking city.
That's crazy.
So, as far as the pizza goes or whatever, I got introduced to a place called Star Pizza here, and it's probably and it's not just like a specific brand of pizza. They do all the pizzas. They do Detroit style. They do New York style. They do Chicago. They do all the genres of pizza there in that one place. And I've had just about every combination of variant of pizza from them.
Sounds like
but it's so far fucking away from me that it's just like when I have it, it's truly a treat.
That's what I say. It's a treat. It's a treat. You can't, if you had it close, you'd probably be eating it every day.
Oh yeah, and it's not a bad deal.
It's a bad deal for me. Because I mean, like something like that, and I would put on so much weight. Like it would just be so bad for me.
And then the kid, her favorite, she loves mod pizza. You know, they might call it different things because I know there's different variations of it. Pretty much it's like Subway for pizza. You just go up there, I want this size. You know, they pull up the crust and be like, what kind of sauce you want? And you
They
tell them
build
what
it
kind of
there
sauce.
for you?
Yeah, they build it right there. And then they put it in this brick fire oven thingy or whatever. And they cook it right up in there and you boom. And it's great. My kid loves that shit. And it's like, my kid is still a kid. You know, she still got the basic taste buds is what I tell her or whatever. It's just like she don't like too many flavorful things or whatnot because her main jam is pizza, chicken strips, fucking cup of noodles.
Oh my God, cup of noodles.
That's it. That's like her 3 food groups.
Cup of noodles is not even a food group. I used to love cup of noodles.
Hey,
wow.
she like her ramen or whatever. But
she likes her ramen.
And I think it was kind of more because she read the manga and shit and watch some of the anime. So she kind of, you know, she liked the noodles. So I was like, one day I was driving on the interstate and I always would look over and I would see this ramen shop, like legit place or whatever. They actually make the shit there. And I was
the real legitimate ramen.
Yeah, not the cup of noodle. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take the kid there one day. So I was like, she was in the kitchen rustling through the cabinet. She pulled out a little cup of noodles. I was like, put that shit down. We're gonna go get some ramen.
We're gonna go get some real ramen. Did she like it?
And I take her and she enjoyed it. Anytime we bring it up, we go to the same place and we sit there in the same booth every time in the corner. And we call that because there's 2 places that we go to. There's that place, and then my wife has another place that she likes that, you know, they serve different things there. But the place me and my kid go to, is just mostly ramen and stuff like that. But it depends on how she feel that day because she'll say, let's go to the place mom picked because they got good chicken there. And then, then normally, you know, when I ask her, I was like, hey, you want to go get some ramen? She's like, yeah, let's go to our place. I was like, and just to fuck with her, I'd be like, well, which one is that? She's like, the chicken butt place. I was like, the chicken butt place? She's like, yeah, because there's a chair and it has a chicken's butt on it. And I was like, all right, so let's go get some chicken butt and ramen.
Does she put extra stuff on it or she just goes like,
nah, they bring it there and she eat it as is.
Wow.
For like, they usually put the egg in there, you know, and for the flavor and all that stuff. She's like, you want my egg? Because she tried it once and it's just like, nah.
She wasn't feeling it. Oh my God, that's like the best part of the ramen is the egg in there.
Yeah, and then she get chicken strips on the side because she can't let that shit go.
Chicken strips are yummy though.
Yeah, true. I mean, I can't go wrong with a bad chicken strip or whatever, you know. But I fuck with her. I'd be like, would you like a fork of shame? Damn, I go in there and I use the chopsticks and shit. And she daggone want a fork and shit. I was like, oh, come on, man. You got to come in here. You got to learn how to do it. What if you go to Japan or something one day and they looking at you all crazy, you know?
You're going to have to ask for that fork. They don't put it down.
Yep. We went to Seattle on a family trip. Nice. And there was this ramen shop that I looked up, you know, in researching for the trip. So we all went there and whatnot. So I had the chopsticks. My wife tried to use the chopsticks. The boy, my son, he used the chopsticks. He kind of in that realm too. He like anime and all that stuff. So
how old is he, if you don't mind me asking?
He's 19 now.
Oh, okay. So yeah. He's much.
Yeah, she the only one that live with me right now. She 11. Okay. But the older 2, 21 and 19. And so we all there. I got the chopsticks. The boy got the chopsticks. And then all the girls, pretty much, my oldest daughter, my young daughter, and the wife, she tried. And she was like, hey, man, can we get some forks? So I turned to the freaking connoisseur, the maitre d', the waiter, or whatever you want to call him. No, I was like, hey, man, let me give 3 forks of shame. And he's like, big smile across his face. He's like, oh, okay.
They couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the chopsticks. I mean, it's a little hard to use. It took me a while to learn how to use them, but it's
I don't
fun.
know what happened. Because I had a difficulty with the finger joints or whatever. And then one day it just clicked and I was just like, oh, I'm doing this shit.
Yep, you just find the setting for your hand.
Mhm.
And you make
Yep.
it work.
And then, you know, since I always tease her, whatever, that was my Christmas present from her. She got me some chopsticks that look like
Aw.
lightsabers, and they light up and shit.
I got those for my niece 2 years ago. Yes, those
Yeah,
are so cool because my niece is like totally into Asian culture and she loves eating with chopsticks, almost all her food.
yeah,
So,
it's fun. I like it
yeah.
because it's like I'm trying to sit there. I mean, because I mean, we Southern folk or whatever, so it's not like we can be sitting there with some pork chops and shit and chopsticks or whatever. Just
No,
make
but
it.
but some noodles and some stringy stuff like that,
Yeah,
Asian food too. Yeah, you can pick it up easy.
I need to
I
find
pick
me
up.
a. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, try picking up rice though. If it's not
Oh,
sticky,
yeah,
you're gonna have
yeah,
a
it
hard
has to be sticky.
time. It has to be
'Cause,
sticky.
you know, I need to find me like I like sushi. You know, not all of it because you know some of that shit is wild. But you
I
know,
don't like
every now
seafood.
and then, well, I mean, every food is seafood. I mean, you see it, you got to eat it.
I don't like food that comes from the ocean.
Okay, all right. I mean, fair enough. But I mean, they got some of them. They call it sushi or whatever, but it doesn't have like some of those things in there. They'll put some other
Yeah, no.
stuff in there. But it's just like I need to find me a good sushi place or whatever, or I need to identify what is considered a good sushi place because I find myself just I go to Kroger of all places because I'm a Walmart guy, and they might have the little sushi joint out there, and I just like get a little California roll or something like that,
Oh
just so I can
man.
go home and use my chopsticks and
You should
shit. Yeah, they come with something. I just like throw these shits out. I got custom made, baby.
Lightsabers.
Mhm. I got another pair that I bought when we went to Seattle. There was a Bruce Lee exhibit, and they had like a gift shop and everything, and they had all kinds of different things, and they had a pair of chopsticks in there, and I got me a pair up out of there. So when the kid around, I use her chopsticks, but when it's just like me left to my own devices, I use my shits.
You use
Or
your Bruce
whatever.
Lee
Yeah,
joints.
because the ones the kids got me, they're kind of thick. They're almost like fingers or whatever.
Yes, they are very
Because they got the light mechanism and everything. But like I get
they're
my
heavy.
chopsticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're heavy. They're hard to use. I feel like the lightsaber chopsticks are more like for collecting because
Yeah.
my niece is really good with chopsticks and she was struggling with those.
Yeah.
So
And
I hear you.
they kind of smooth too, so they kind of rub. They'd be like, huh. Yeah, and you try to
Yeah,
grab
but
the stuff and then flip it.
have you ever used metal ones?
Oh no.
There's nothing harder than metal chopsticks. There's
Word.
nothing harder. Everything
N-
slides.
Noted. I'm not using them shits. And I've been tempted to bring my own to whenever we go to like our little ramen outings or whatever. I've been
You
tempted
can.
to put them in my pocket, be like, "Ha, bitch!"
You ain't got these exclusive.
Yep. But I mean, what's your favorite genre of movies?
Horror, for sure.
Horror. What's
Horror
your
and action and then and they're pretty much almost close together and then martial art type movies. So
Ooh, so what are
yeah,
your
I'm not
thoughts
your
and
typical
feelings
girl. I'm
on?
not your typical girl. I like
I mean,
that stuff.
that's why there's a Mrs. B. Rob, because once again she's like, you like movies? Yeah, I like movies. I was like, what's your genre? He's like, action. I love Bruce Lee. I was like,
Marry me.
why you
Yeah.
bullshit? They kind of wind up like that.
Yo, look, I you asked me what's my favorite horror movie?
Well, no, I was about to ask, what's your ritual for the month of October? I mean, is there a horror ritual or what's going on?
There really isn't a horror ritual, but when it comes in and horror fest comes on almost all the channels, and I have all the apps. I have them all. I have Hulu, Netflix, Prime. I got them all, so I'm not missing a damn thing. First thing I do, of course, is not in October. I go in September and I check the upcoming movies.
Okay.
And then I'm like, I'm definitely catching this one. And everything for me is a repeat because it's pretty much, I've already seen them. But I'm a repeat watcher. Like I love watching movies again that I've seen and I can see them over and over and like hundreds of times. I'm that person.
So what's your go-to though?
My go-to movie?
Yeah, your go-to horror film, the one that you got, you're wearing a hole in the Blu-ray.
The Shining is
Oh.
I like the Amityville Horror, the original, not the one with Ryan Reynolds. Although I love Ryan Reynolds, but I didn't like him in that.
Most women do.
I see, but I like him because he's funny, not because I think he's hot. So
I guess that's why I'm sitting with Mrs. B. Rob, because I'm a funny dude.
Yeah, I like funny. Like that to me is what caught me about Ryan Reynolds. That's why any Ryan Reynolds movies that's out there, I'll give it a chance because he's a funny dude. But I'm not looking at him like, ew, he's hot. No, not at all. That's not why. Not at all. But it's, you know, The Shining, the Amityville Horror. My God. The Event Horizon is another one that I really like.
Well, that one's I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah.
The Exorcist, that one still freaks me out.
My wife teased me about that or whatever, because like I told her I didn't like that shit. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's just like I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah, no, it's scary. It's rough. It's rough. Yeah. But I love it. Paranormal Activity, which is not an old movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's old, but it's not like old school, you know, from back in the days. I also like a House on Haunted Hill, but I like the black and white one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, but those, you know, I'm probably forgetting some, but those are good. I like Hellraiser.
I haven't watched those in so long.
Yes, there's so many. I mean, I could probably say I'm going through my head, but those are some of my go-to. Yeah, there's too many. But yeah, it's just they don't make them like they used to.
What about Puppet Master?
Oh, hell yeah. I love Puppet Master. The original was amazing too. One of my favorite puppets was the chick that used to throw the leeches out her mouth.
Oh yeah, she was like,
and then she killed people with leeches. Yeah, no, it was Puppet Master.
I forget his name. Your man with the knife and the hook. That's my joint right there.
Oh yeah, with the hat and the cloak. Oh my God, I don't remember his name. It's been a while since I watched it.
He had the hook, he had the knife, and then he also did the little joints out his eyes. He had like two little spikes.
Yes, and then you had the guy that had the
drill.
Yes.
I remember seeing that for the first time. That shit freaked me the hell out because they tied somebody down to a table and he jumped on his face and started drilling in his forehead. I was like, ah!
These little things, and you would think, I'm like, these little things are killing people. Yeah, it scares the shit out of you. And of course, these, I don't consider them scary anymore, but the Freddy Krueger movies, you know, the Michael Myers movies, the Jasons, the originals, like not after they started remaking like Freddy versus Jason. And I watched those, but not because I thought they were going to be good, just because of nostalgia, you know, like it's Freddy. How can I not watch this? But yeah.
I think a film that I rediscovered and it easily bumped it up to being one of my favorite horror suspense films is The Thing, the original.
Oh, how could I forget about that? John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh, I love that.
And I even like what they did with the other remake. Film, yes, a remake, but it's also a prequel. So yes. I really enjoyed that because it got me at the end. I was just like, they redoing this shit, and then when they get to the when they go to that substation that's on fire, I was like, wait a minute, that's just like the
yes. But The Thing was so good, and my husband actually played the video game for that movie. The Thing. I couldn't play it because it was too freaky for me. Like you could just be walking, and then the person that's on your team behind turns into a thing, and then you're fucked. Man. So I'm watching it. Like that. I'm like, imagine I can't play that if I'm
that kind of give me like the vibes like on those games like Dead Space and shit like that. I'm just like, this is too much.
Dead Space is another one where I like played it and I was like, look, I'm freaking out. Controller's gonna fly out my hand, with these things popping out of everywhere. So horror games,
something different.
Something different. A little hard time.
Because you're playing games and you're trying to focus and just like, all right, I don't want to miss the items on the ground or nothing. Then motherfucker.
Yup. And then you turn into an amateur player where you're going like this. And I don't play like that. So I was like, I can't play like this. I'm good. Like I keep it to the action games, But the things.
I remember playing the first Resident Evil and that damn when the dog jumped through the fucking window. I was like, all right. I'm done with this shit.
Resident Evil. I didn't play Resident Evil until it made it to Xbox. Although my husband, of course, he's been playing them forever. But because I would get freaked out. I would just, you know, it's like you said, it's a different thing playing horror games. Like they can freak you out, and then you're in control. So yeah.
I think the only one that I enjoyed playing is Until Dawn, and that was because it had I highly recommend it. You could probably get it for free on PlayStation Plus or something or whatever it is, but like it's kind of like choose your own adventure type joint or whatever. You know, you'll get the prompts to be like, all right, do you want to go this way or this way? But it's almost like a teen horror movie or whatever. It's just crazy. And the goal of the game is to have as many people in your group survive. So you can in the game with only one person, 3 people. There's a way, because I think it's 8 in total. I think there's an actual way that you can have all 8 survive. But it's just like, oh man, so many decisions to make.
Everybody would die in my group.
Then they made a VR version of it too. And I was just like, no.
Really? Like you're in it? That's freaky. I'm good. Peace. I'm good.
What are your thoughts on VR, by the way?
I would love to try it, actually.
Okay. I just don't like having shit on my face. And then I wear glasses too. So it's just like.
Oh, no. I mean, I wear computer glasses, but I don't need glasses for magnification purposes. So I wouldn't have a problem there, but I definitely want to try it. I've heard a lot of people say that it's something else, but the reason why I haven't gotten into it as of now is because I don't buy systems unless there's games for them. And the games are so very limited for the system, and it's not a cheap little thing, you know? So no, they have to give me more for me to be like, okay, I'm going to drop these couple of hundreds, you know, because then you got to buy the games on top of that. But if you're telling me these are the only games that are available, and I'm like, I'm not buying a whole system for 1 game or 2 games, you know? Yeah.
And then my child was smart because I got her one. And she seen videos prior to motherfuckers jumping into their TV and falling over and, you know, and shit. So every time she play, she's sitting in her she's sitting in her computer chair and she do that shit.
She tied herself down like, can't run. I'm not going to end up in my computer screen.
Yeah, she'd be in there like.
That's cool. See?
And it's an immersive experience. So it's like, I like to sneak in there and just stand there and watch her. And
watch her. Have you tried it?
The only time that I've put it on, because she asked me to log into something and she didn't know the stuff and I didn't want to have the codes and shit. So I put it on just to like, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on in here? And I can see,
so weird.
I can see why people be walking into shit and just falling over or whatever. But like, I'm just like, I don't like this. Take this from me.
I feel blind. Yeah.
I was like, is there an app? I'll do it on the app.
That's like Lawnmower Man. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Oh man, I'm trying to get that in the collection because like I'm a physical film collector.
Me too.
Collector.
I have 2 chests full of DVDs. Yes.
I have a room.
Oh, you beat me. I used to have VHS, and there's probably gonna be people watching this that don't know what the fuck that is because they're young. But yeah, I used to have so many more in VHS, and then when they became obsolete, I just threw them all out, which is probably a mistake.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I'm thinking about that too now in hindsight because
they could have been collectors.
Yeah. And I'm not even so much worried about that. It's just like, for me, I think I should have maybe kept a VCR.
Yes, because, like how are you going to play them?
Yeah. No, because like my wife, she went home one time to visit family and she brought back some home videos of her when she was a young kid. So I was like, oh shit. And I was like, if I had a VCR, I mean, I
bet
figure out it.
If you can find one on Amazon. Like a used one.
But it's like $100-something. I already looked. But but I bought this little adapter kit. If I had a VCR, I could hook it to my computer and I can digitize it, you know, and then I can blackmail her. So
look what I got.
But I just need to find a working VCR and everything. So I probably go to Goodwill or something, or just fucking bite the bullet. And damn, just buy one off of Amazon or some shit like that. Because at least then I know it will work.
Maybe they'll have one in a pawn shop. I mean, you never know. Cheap.
And then speaking of nostalgia and everything, I just kind of been falling back into old school media and everything. Not so much VHS yet, but I just recently bought a vinyl player, which is why I'm in the garage doing the carpentry project, because I'm trying to build a little table to put all the shit on and everything. Because right now it's sitting in the living room on the little, the food tray joint you fold out. It's just sitting on that right now.
You got records for it?
Yeah, I just I bought a couple to get me started, but I have created a hit list, and much like the pop vinyls that are sitting over there in the corner, I don't think you can see those.
Can't see them.
But about pop vinyls. There's so many. There's one for everything that you would like under the sun. And to keep me from spending copious amounts of money in cash, I only limited myself to the genre of professional wrestling. And the rule that I added to that as well is I can only buy it in person. I can't buy it online and have it shipped to the house. I have to be in the store with the item to buy it.
Whoa.
That way, it keeps me from spending all this money on all this bullshit.
Smart.
Whatever. So
that's a smart move.
As far as the records go, because I know I'll go down a rabbit hole. Records. Just give me an armful.
Give me everything
put them in the house.
You put them all in the cart. That's why you can't do it digitally.
Yeah, the rule that I set for that. I mean, and it's not so much I could do those digitally, because some of the ones that I'm looking for are kind of hard to find. And there's not too many record shops here. Right. But the rule of thumb that I have for that, it has to be something that has impacted my childhood, that I have some kind of fond attachment to, or just something that just like, of its time and whatnot. So I got a hit list of albums that I want to get. So it's the Kanye Trilogy. So College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation. Those three. Three.
I know 1 and 3. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. All three of the Kid Cudi trilogy. So the Man on the Moon 1, 2, and 3. I already got a single because they didn't produce a full-on full-length LP for the single, but Carl Thomas's I Wish.
Oh my God, Carl Thomas. You just took me back.
Love that song.
Carl Thomas.
And I know I was very emotional when that album came out, because I was going some bullshit with my baby mama, my ex-wife or whatever. So it's just like that album is tied to a lot of things. So
beautiful.
I couldn't find that album, but I found the single, and that's the one I wanted, because I wish I never met that motherfucker at some points.
Yes, you brought me back. I love Carl Thomas. My God, I have forgotten about him.
Mm-hmm. Also, I mean, he was John Legend before John Legend to me.
True.
And it's like the dream was The Weeknd before The Weeknd. So it just comes around.
It does. And everything comes around.
So like we got Bruno Mars now, but the dude before him was to me was what's his fucking name? He sung that song Amor. Fucking Frankie J.
Oh, I see. I'm not so into Frankie J, but Bruno Mars.
Yeah, that dude.
I love me some Bruno Mars.
All his albums are on vinyl, so I might get those 3 as well. They're not on the list, but the Kanye Trilogy, the Kid Cudi Trilogy. Yeah, exactly. The Carl Thomas, Genuine had an album called 100% Genuine. So that one had like
me some Genuine.
So Anxious on there and all that stuff. So
Pony.
Yeah. Well, no, Pony was on The Bachelor.
Oh, that's right. It was on The Bachelor. He had about 3 really great albums.
Yeah. He had The Bachelor. He had 100% Genuine. And then I forget what the one after that was, but that was his trilogy of good albums. After that, it just kind of went weird. They weren't bad, but
that was during the Aaliyah era too. Aaliyah, Missy Elliott, Timbaland era.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
I think the Aaliyah, there's a set
Aaliyah.
called "I Care for You," and I think it's like her greatest hits or whatever. So that's on the hit list.
I love Aaliyah.
I got the Red Hot Chili Peppers single "Under the Bridge."
Wow, you just took it on another direction, away from R&B.
Because that song did something to me as a younger guy, because like growing up being a black man in the South or whatever, it's just like you're only allowed to listen to rap music. I mean, that's all black people listen to. I mean, that's our joint, so that's all you listen to.
Oh, that you didn't know?
Yeah. So it's just like, I kind of fit into the thing, and then, growing up where I grew up, I mean, that's what everybody listened to around me. So, I mean, that's all I really knew. But damn, I think it was MTV, just flipping through channels one day, or Beavis and Butthead maybe, or some shit.
Yeah,
like
Beavis and Butthead.
That song came on, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Who are these guys? This sounds great. And then from then on, it just kind of like took my trajectory in a different way for all the different music and everything. So I got that single. It just came in the mail the other day. I need to get Rage Against the Machine, Battle of Los Angeles. And then I had some other stuff. I mean, it's like the list is
pretty long.
Yeah, but that's the ones that have some attachment that I want to get in the collection. I really dug, and another thing that I wanted to get was kind of like, I like Green Day, but the only thing I know of Green Day is, their commercial hits, the things that have been on the radio, things that have been on music videos and everything. So I don't know real in depth about their catalog. So to kind of keep me from buying each and every individual fucking Green Day album, I just bought the greatest hits.
That's smart.
Yeah, so I just got the greatest hits.
I only know about their greatest hits anyway. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything that hasn't been on the radio,
Yeah. And then I got the Machiavelli album.
Wow.
And
that's sweet.
Most recently, it was on the list, but I have it now. So I can cross it off the list, the Lauryn Hill album, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Love that album.
Mm-hmm. And then the next one on the list is Boys to Men, the Legacy album. And that's just pretty much all their greatest hits and everything on one thing.
Got to see them live. They still sounded good.
All the four or the three?
Three. It was, I want to say 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago in Atlantic City, they came and they did like a show there. And my God, just brought me back. Of course, I sang every song because, if you grew up with them, you know all their songs. It was great. They sounded amazing.
I have never been to a concert before.
I saw Prince live.
When he was alive. So he was live, yes.
Yes, when he was alive and live. And let me tell you, that man sounded better in person.
Oh, yeah.
If that was possible, we were 4 rows from the front. So it was in the Izod in New Jersey. This was a place that closed down, but that place was so perfect because no matter where you sat, it was almost like you were in the front. So that was an amazing experience. I've seen Bruno Mars live. I've seen The Roots, Jay-Z, Erykah Badu, and Boyz II Men. So
that was one of the albums that was on my hit list too, the Black Album by Jay-Z. But we got that now, so I can cross that off.
Cross it off. Badu sounded amazing. And I think, Dave Chappelle made a quick, it was at the Roots concert. He made a quick appearance too and cracked some jokes. He was high as fuck. It was great.
Oh, of course.
It was great. It was but I've been to a few and I was going to go to more, but with the pandemic, I had like 3 concerts set up and they just went to hell. So
there was one time, because I told my wife the same thing and she had a similar reaction to you about me never being to a concert. There was one that I wanted to go to, and she was all prime and set to take me there. But, this man's life just went into a downward spiral, and I wanted to go to an R. Kelly concert.
I knew you was going to say R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I knew it. I'm so angry at him. Like, because I have so much of his music.
Yes,
I don't listen
same.
to it. I don't listen to it because I can't support him. And every time you hear the music now, you're like, oh God, now I know what he was talking about. Like it warps your sense of things.
Yeah. And then also it's the same thing with like Bill Cosby or whatever. I think one of my favorite comedy specials of all time was Bill Cosby himself. And it's just like,
he wasn't like one of my favorites, but I always thought that he was like a wholesome dude. And, you know, I don't believe
That's the ones that get you.
Yeah, well, true. I
Yeah.
don't believe everything that was said.
Yeah.
Because there's always people that jump on a bandwagon when they think that they can gain from someone's loss. But you know, I feel like that should happen like 40 years ago. What's going on? Like, and I'm a big on like conspiracy theories. I don't talk about it often, but I was like, this man was getting ready to buy NBC.
Yeah.
He was getting ready to buy NBC station. And I guess they were like, oh, yeah, right. A black man owning NBC. We got something for you. It was literally like a month or two after he was into the talks of buying NBC that all that shit started coming out. And that, I'm not saying it's not true.
Yeah.
But I don't believe all of it.
He should have got a proxy. Should have got him a white man to stand in front of him and be like, I want to buy NBC. Here, Bill, you can have it.
Exactly. Something. Unfortunately, you know, I feel like he was loved by everyone as long as he stayed in his lane. That's how I feel. That's what I think happened to Bill Cosby, to be honest.
Could be.
They were killing a lot of black entertainers during that time. A lot of them were going down with this Me Too movement. So
also keep your hands to yourself.
True. That is true. That is true. And also, you know, playing devil's advocate too, the past can come to bite you in the face.
Yeah.
It's
all
never
up
too
in there.
Yeah, all up in your face, like in your 80s. In your 80s, when you're almost God. Now you have to deal with what happened when you were in your 20s and 30s.
Yeah. I'm glad I ain't did no shit like that. And then I got a podcast to hold my words and everything. It was like, I don't remember saying that. And be like, here, episode 33.
Yes, right. Like the fear of being canceled as a podcaster is great. You like always have to think about, did I just say something, you know, that's going to get me canceled? Because, you know, everybody's so sensitive these days and you have to watch what you say, what you call people. And so, you know, that's why I keep my podcasts very like, just don't come on there, and because you're going to kill yourself on there. You're going to cancel yourself. So, yeah.
And then, you know, I don't hide it. You know, I got to say it because it's just like I was being a dumbass. But like I have said the F word on somebody's podcast before. I mean, they bleeped it out, but I mean, it was still implied. But it was just like, no, whatever. It was kind of in spite of what he was saying. He's like, let's not do that. I was like, F word.
Fuck it. No, see, with me, how can I be like, don't curse when every other word out of my mouth is a curse word?
No, I'm talking about like the you know, what people will call homosexual people, the F word, that F word.
Oh,
I mean, I say fuck all day. Fuck this bullshit. Fuck.
I see what you're okay. No, I know
that F word. I was like, yeah. Then in the hindsight later on, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have did that. I mean, I know I was bullshitting around, but nobody would probably, you know, they can just take it and run with it, take it all out of the context, and all this other bullshit or whatever.
Yes.
And then like I don't even say the N word. I mean, I don't even say it in my personal life, but it's just like there's only been maybe 4 or maybe I'm sticking with 4, might be 5. There's only been 5 times in the 6-year span that I've been doing, you know, this shit or whatever, that I've actually said it on a podcast or on air or whatever. And it was just like, I used to say it a long time ago, and I was reliving a memory, and the shit just kind of whoop
came out. Like, no, I never used it. My husband, who is black, doesn't use it, has never used it. And even when I'm listening,
Lou.
Lou.
I'm like, come on, Lou.
Yeah, my brother's like that. My older brother, he, you know, and this and that, but the A one, the one that ends with A. But I still am like, every time he says it, I'm like, I cringe a little, because even if it's in the music, and I'm singing the song out loud, and the word comes out, I don't say anything. Like I literally, you hear nothing, and then, you know, because I'm like, I don't like it, the word myself. I don't really care if people use it or not, but I think that's a word that needs to like disappear.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. As long as it's used, it'll never go away. I
It's
mean, in
never gonna
regards
go
to
away.
music or any kind of other art or
Yeah.
whatever, if it's there, if it's prevalent in movies or whatever, it's never gonna go away.
But I will say this: I am never okay with white people using it.
Oh, never. And
Never,
have you
never,
watched?
because of
Have you
history.
seen the new Bel Air series?
No, I won't watch it. It looks like it has too much drama.
Oh yeah, well, it's specifically made that way. But
Yeah.
there was a scene, I think, in maybe the first or second episode, to where Carlton, black guy, he was in the locker room with a bunch of his white teammates, and they was singing a song, and all of them were saying the N words and everything. And Will came up and there was like about to fight everybody. And Carlton was like, hey man, chill.
See, but that should, that's the appropriate reaction. I think, there's a reason why, history, just history alone should deter people from using it. But
and it's weird as well, to where, because like music is for everybody.
Exactly.
So it's just like,
so what do you do? Like if you listen to a song and the N word comes up, I switch it to dude. I switch the word to man.
Just
boy.
mute it like the radio. Just mute it like the radio. Yeah, that's my. And keep going and rolling.
Exactly. And that's what I do. I mean, like I said, people call my show and they use it. But I am not one that's gonna I'm never gonna be like, hey, don't say that word. To each his own. You have to live with what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I'll fuck with you though.
Yeah,
I'll fuck with you. I'll be like, because Lou come over, he's like, yeah, this N word here, and I'll be like, yeah, come on, Lou, with that N word, just jabbing at him. Come on, Lou.
Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, though, they use it pretty freely. They do. I don't see why.
Come on. Yeah, me neither. But hey, it is what it is.
We love Lou though.
Yeah, Lou is the man. Lou is everything.
Lou is
everything podcast.
Everything podcast, y'all. He has the best radio voice.
Yeah, me and him gonna do the Quiet Storm together.
Oh my God, please do.
You're now tuned in to 96.3 The Beat, the Quiet Storm.
I love that.
Hey, it was funny, because me, Lou, and a whole bunch of other people in like a little group chat and everything, and they was talking about that because I got a deeper voice and Lou got one or whatever. One of them actually drafted up a script. It's like, hey man, I want you to record this, and it's in the group chat. So I read his lines and everything, and I put it in the group chat, and they was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work, but I'm gonna put this on my show somehow.
Some people just have the voice for it.
I played it for my wife, and she's like, send that to me. I was like,
oh,
I did right. I did good.
Yes, you did.
But hey, it's been great hanging with you or whatever. It's been great chatting with you or whatever. But this is where we're going to wind down and kind of put a pin in it or whatever. But before we go, let everybody know where they can find you on social media and everything that you got going on.
Okay, cool. So I'm mostly on Twitter. I do have an Instagram, which I am going to start getting more into, posting more, but it's everything is Top Rope Squishy. My YouTube channel is also Top Rope Squishy. I drop predictions on Monday as an alter ego called Squishtradamus. I do. And on Thursdays, I go live. I'm dying. Because even when I do it, before he says action, before my husband
gotta get your he's out.
Oh my God, we laugh so much. One of these days I'm gonna put out the bloopers and the stuff. But yeah, and then I go live every Thursday at 7:15 p.m. Eastern. So find me there. Get some merch. Get you some Top Rope Squishy merch.
And as always, you have been a guest of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. The door is always open for you to come back to promote your next big thing or just to shoot the shit.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. I'm so glad I came on. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. And listeners, if you're still hanging around and everything or whatnot, and viewers, I'd like to remind you that March 29th is the 6th annual Ask Miss B Rob. So go ahead and get your questions in for Mrs. B Rob to answer on this very special edition of Ask Miss B Rob on Random Rambles with Rob and whatnot. So I mean, you can ask my wife anything. You can ask her what her favorite color is. You can ask does anal feel like pooping? You can whatever it is that you want to ask. No question is off limits, and it is what it is. Hey, that was a question that was asked, and she answered.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah,
I need to ask some questions.
Hey, submit your questions, and the way you can do that, you can send your DMs to @3RShow on Twitter, or you can just simply tweet it out for everybody to get in on the train and use hashtag Ask Miss B Rob, or you can email your questions to randomrobcast@outlook.com. So you can send me a whole fucking spreadsheet in the email with all your questions. And if you want your voice to be heard on this special edition, you can send a voicemail to 304-825-5762, and you can ask your questions with your voice and all that good stuff. And then, if you can find me anywhere, just send me your questions and I'll just put them down in the log or whatever. I think we got about 10, 15 questions so far. Wow. So it should be a good episode. And we're looking for some more. The more questions we have, the longer the show is, the more shenanigans and hijinks it is. Fuck, what's his name? Denzel Washington. He can kiss my ass. Why? That was one of the questions.
Oh,
from they asked my wife if would she kiss Denzel Washington or some shit like that or whatever. And she was like, yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, fuck that dude. Fuck him forevermore. Kiss my ass. Good night. But anyway, yeah, everybody join in, and that's it. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.